Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for June 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Now, as you can see, I'm in a different environment. I've gone to visit my family members for the next coming weeks, but I will be back in my usual space after that. I just wanted to explain the change of location. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is your monthly reading for June. I can't believe we're here already. Where is the time going, my beautiful Leo? Well, here we are. We're already in June, of course, by the time you start to watch this. And we've just had Saturn move into the sign of Aries, making us really sit up straight, pay attention to higher standards, and keep our eyes on our personal prizes. Now, Saturn moving sign can give us a pretty major wake-up call to remind us that our actions today shape our future to come, and it reinforces discipline and questions our life philosophy and belief systems. Now, luckily, we have my favorite planet Jupiter muscling in on the action this month to really steal the glory by offering us a great cosmic hug to really take the edge off and deliver rewards for all of your hard work, focus, and it also offers gateways of opportunity to better luck. Now, the planets, of course, they change all the time, but we have had some pretty major shifts recently. It's really hard to catch a break, as I'm sure you know. Thank goodness for June, taking that edge off before things really intensify in July. But let's not really get ahead of ourselves because we're focusing on June right now. And of course, this is the month to really bask in June's pause, to appreciate all we have and all that is yet to come. It's really challenging at the moment, of course. The pressure has really been on, and you can actually lose sight of all that you've achieved so far when you're in a flurry of activity to keep life moving forward towards hitting your next target. But June is a month where the more you acknowledge your personal accomplishments so far, it will actually reflect and amplify to send more into your life. For we have officially moved into glorious Gemini season, the twins, mirroring and doubling down on the energy whilst Jupiter expands in order to offer you more. Now, when you step into your power and know that you deserve more, the universe will deliver opportunities for more. Now, not when you're in ego, of course. There has to be a sense of purpose and knowingness about your value. But of course, you do still have to focus on your responsibilities. And this month, it reminds you to enjoy life's simpler pleasures, to really have fun with your nearest and dearest. And of course, you're in your 5th house at the beginning of the month. So that's really going to be amplified for you. It's time to reset in nature. Nurturing food and a very contemplative alone time energy connects you to your higher self. And of course, Jupiter's greatest influence this month will be in your personal life as it nestles into the sign of Cancer, which is all about your home, your relationships, and of course, your emotions. You know, June is the 6th month, of course, and the 6th vibration guides us home to self. So you'll be asking questions like where or who feels like home to you? And do you need to redefine boundaries? You'll be all up in your feelings as you endeavor to appreciate this present moment with the people that you really care about the most. But also it encourages declarations to self on what you are not willing to accept anymore. And it reinforces using that wonderful word, no, as a boundary of self-care. Now, June is actually a softer month, thank goodness, and it is a month of heartfelt connections and a desire to create sacred space for important conversations. As we're currently in Gemini season, your extroverted side will also take great strides to shine. The prowess of your intellect demands that you be heard, as it encourages creativity, questioning, great debates, and alternative opinions. Now, the magical energy this month demands that you stay curious, explorative, adventurous, and open to the alternative. Of course, June is a major personal comeback month as it removes stagnancy, awakens your imagination to run wild, and it helps you stride towards many personal breakthroughs. Now, it's a month to celebrate you and the unique spark of brilliance that you bring to your world. And of course, we have fiery Mars. It steps into Virgo, which keeps you focused on the minute details to serve your higher purpose with precision and refinement. Now, you'll be super productive, of course, to make your major improvements to keep life running smoothly. And the full moon will be in the sign of Sagittarius on the 11th. And let's just say it's a little bit unpredictable. So you may encounter a major plot twist that keeps you on your toes in and around this date. Your spontaneous side certainly comes out to play. You might even surprise yourself with sudden impromptu events, vacations, or projects. And as the full moon is in a fire sign, we could also see some intermittent power outages or even dips in personal energy. Also, travel-related glitches too. I hate to say that, but there we are. It will connect to that sort of energy at this time as well. I'm just going to rearrange your cards because I'm only taking the uprights in these decks there. So let me get everything in order, because that is going to be the influence of June. That Virgonian influence with Gemini gets everything kind of like organized there. And of course, I want you to be aware that, we need to pay attention to the 19th of June as well, because Jupiter in Cancer clashes with Neptune. Now, this could ring in a disappointment. I hate to say that as well, but the energy kind of influences that. However, the new moon on the 25th in Cancer, of course, will try to soothe any volatile situations to offer you a better solution. And this combination of planetary alignments can see water-related events, a clash on the high seas, flooding, or even volatile underwater activity that I've mentioned before that expands land masses. And of course, unfortunately, seismic activity will continue to increase towards a climax. As a couple of planets shift into the sign of Cancer during Gemini season, it will also encourage people coming together to offer humanitarian aid in crisis. And we will also see a detoxification when it comes to additives in the food industry. A major shakeup in the agricultural sector too, as the removal of harmful chemicals enter a discussion for change. At least we're discussing it, so that's great. And the Gemini Sagittarius influence can also encourage global activism, a desire for freedom to reinforce transparency. Major exposés will continue, especially in and around the mismanagement of global funds. This will come to light. However, the question remains, will we see change ever? Well, I can tell you it's a long road, but we will see change. And new technological breakthroughs emerge as well, especially around healthcare industries. And of course, we end the month with the solstice, opening a gateway to personal growth, healing, and it, of course, also marks a return to light and hope. A highly sensitive month as you listen to your heart and move forward with great purpose. And you're taking charge. I mean, look at your first card. You have the Emperor right there. So this is your protagonist energy. You're stepping up, you're taking action on something. something, but also you're looking at your sense of responsibilities. You are firmly locked onto your goals, my beautiful Leo. You have the World card there. So this indicates that you will move forward and accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. But the Emperor energy is all about owning your truth. It's a very successful vibration. So something you're working towards, you will see some good news there, or you'll see a breakthrough where you attain some sort of completion or even some sort of measure of accomplishment that sees you really in your power. You have the King of Wands energy, the Queen of Cups energy. So this is a nice balance. You know, this could also be a gathering of people because this is your protagonist energy. So you could actually connect to people who, you know, are your soul tribe, spend time with those that you care about, fun-loving people, because your fifth house, the pursuit of pleasure, is really influencing you at the beginning of the month, letting your hair down, going out, accepting invitations, maybe, you know, coming out of your comfort zone to seek more excitement, picking up a hobby, or even revamping your love life. You know, if you are someone who wants to get more involved in the community as well, I feel like your voice matters. I was being given a message throughout the whole of the cleansing of your reading that your life is important. You are special and you came here to shine. And sometimes that position, that sense of purpose, it's hard. But I feel like you could actually meet people who can help you in your endeavors in the month of June, or even get more active in the community and build your soul tribe if you're searching for people who align with your personal truth. But you know, the Emperor energy is more about you being serious or stricter with yourself when it comes to boundaries or even your personal truth. So if you're trying to cut something out at this moment in time, whether it is, you know, a detoxifying energy because of all the planetary alignments, or even if it is you sticking to a financial strategy, you're going to be so proud of yourself because you were stricter with your own boundaries and you made a declaration to self that you are going to be on top of it and make things happen. You know, the Emperor energy is authoritative energy. So it means you're leading in your life, but also it can be that you're commanding more respect in your personal circumstances, whether it is in your family unit or in a job or in the community in some way, or even in a relationship. You know, for some of you, if you have been having trouble in a personal relationship, some of you could step towards like a guidance counselor in order to mediate between the two sides so that you can come towards some sort of balance and harmony there, where people really understand each other and fight to save the relationship, for example. So if you're going through counseling yourself, I see that, you know, a very eye-opening personal development occurs, but it helps you and your person see the reason why you fell in love with each other in the first place and how you can conquer any conflict within your union, because of course humans were all very complex. This could also, you know, be extended to friends or family members. You know, there could be an intervention during this month where you help someone see or you give someone advice on something that basically helps them on their life path, because this is a guidance card. So it can indicate that you help someone with your advice, or you actually lead with your truth and inspire other people. So you're stepping up in some way. A lot of you with that Emperor energy, you're focused on your business or your career if you're in one right now. So it can be that you're locked onto your financial goals. Some of you with the Hermit energy, you may be more discerning about the events that you go to so that you can pool your resources and save for a larger sort of purchase or even a vacation there. And of course, some of you, if you're trying to be your own boss, you could launch a business. Some of you, because there are 3 people here, it could be that either you're getting advice or watching someone do something that you aspire to do, and you're getting and gathering all this information in order to create a springboard to launch from. You're not copying anybody. You're definitely in your authentic originality energy. So that means that anything you do will be different, bold, and daring, but it could be that you're seeking the foundations of how to structure something, because the Emperor is all about structure. Now, of course, for some of you with that Emperor energy, and we have the King of Wands and we have the Queen of Cups here, there could be a change in some sort of governmental structure that has a little bit more compassion towards people. I know that's not typical to form, but we could be surprised with that energy, and perhaps it's something that benefits you in a way. Now, there has been a lot of pressure recently, so you know, it's not often that things change to help a situation move forward with more power to the people. But I feel in this circumstance, whatever it is, I feel it's very personal, especially when it comes to 401ks or pensions, because we have a very mature card there. There could be some change there, or someone else kind of leads or moves into a position that has more compassion, okay, is not all about the business, can kind of collaborate and also tap into their compassionate side in order to see things from a business related viewpoint, but also a more understanding and compassionate viewpoint there as well. And I'm only mentioning like structures in terms of government because, of course, the Emperor can connect to that card. But let's bring it back to your own energy. A lot of you, you know, especially if you're retired, this could be you spending time with people that you can have a lot of fun with. The Emperor with the World card can indicate that if you are someone who has friends from overseas, they could come and visit you during this month, or perhaps you're planning a vacation to go and see them. You're going to have a lot of fun, okay? Now let's break this down in terms of your own personal energy. To have, you know, the Emperor and the King of Wands, this could indicate that someone who has strong Aries in their chart is very influential, or, you know, there's an affinity there. You work together on something. It could be a collaboration, a creative collaboration, or for some of you, this could be that you're in your go-getting spirits. You're setting an intention and you are reaching your goal because we have that World card energy. A lot of you with that Hermit indicates you may have to go off and, you know, limit distractions in order to work on something that is your sense of purpose. Could be a personal development project, doesn't always have to be connected to career or money. It can be something that you're squirreling yourself away to accomplish in silence. You know, power often moves in silence until you're ready to reveal something. So I definitely see here that, you know, you're looking at the bigger picture of your life and making those changes. I mean, it literally says on this card, big picture, overcoming challenges, and being a leader. And you are a pillar of strength. A lot of people actually look towards you to lead, and that can be a very demanding role. You know, if you're someone who is mature before your time, for example, you've had a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, it can be exhausting. And some of you, especially with that Magician energy in the resistance position, it can indicate that you feel like you have more potential in some area and you want to explore it a little bit more. Or there could be a project that you return to in the month of June because you feel it didn't fulfill its full potential when you were doing it, and you put it to the side, almost shelved it in order to come back around towards it. But I definitely see here you will return to it and revamp it in some way. And of course, a lot of you, these changes could take place in your home space, especially since you have, you know, your 12th house influencing you at the end of the month. And the Hermit indicates more insular energy. So you could be doing some DIY, maybe some restructure in your home, decluttering. But also, this is a personal journey of discovery month where you're decluttering body, mind, and soul. Now, the Queen of Cups tells me that you're all up in your feelings, a little bit more sensitive than usual as you approach the month of June. But this is also an important card, especially when it's partnered with these two and your houses, because the 5th house is all about fun. It's a passionate, fiery energy, and you have that in your King of Wands energy. And of course, the 12th house is all about your dreams, your goals, your wishes. It's the deepest part of your chart. It makes you feel more sensitive, so you can feel, you know, those emotions about how you feel about your goals, for example. And it helps you to lock onto the vision of what it is that you desire. You know, the Queen of Cups often has a cup full of water, you know, that is used as a vessel for scrying. So, you know, as I use here, you know, I scry to see images, and what I see here for you is I see an airplane straight away, which tells me some of you are traveling this month, but it could also be that, you know, there is a huge enlightenment for you this month, or things are taking off for you. It's like you have a destination and you are on your way to reaching your destination, which is really exciting. But it says compassion, calm, and comfort. So a lot of you, especially with the Emperor energy, you have responsibility on your shoulders, but you're looking at, you know, managing stress levels, having more time for you to invest in self. So you may actually implement a lot of self-care rituals during this time. But, you know, looking at your energy this month, it's all about ideas, it's about energy, it's about personal kind of like fluctuations in hormones is what I see there, alone time and sitting with self. But also, It's the balance between, alone time and integration, because you have that World card. So you're out there shining your light at the beginning of the month, having fun, filling your diary with lots of fun events or activities that enrich your soul. Okay, even if you're going off and doing those things alone. But then as you move towards the end of the month, it's more about this insular energy, nesting, really connecting to your higher self, or having deep philosophical thoughts about who you are, what path you're on, and developing a sense of awareness about the needs and how you can communicate those needs from a healthy place as you move forward with the people in your life. So I see a lot of you integrating here. Some of you may even be in a group of people, either family or work related, or even in your neighborhood. Seven of Wands means you may have to stand up for yourself in something or confront something in the month of June. But what happens here with this Knight of Pentacles indicates that, there is like words exchange, different opinions, and both parties can find some sort of truth in either dialogue. So it can be that you're not letting bygones be bygones. It's more of like, okay, to some degree, you're correct, but also I'm correct. And can we find a meeting point? Can there be a space in the middle where we both exist and honor our opinions, but at the same time, honor each other's differences? So you could have some sort of major conversation. A lot of you, it could come with a boss, like it could be a conversation with your boss or your landlord, for example. It could be that thanks so much, and so grateful. Some of you, not all of you, my guides gave me that if you are in rented property, you may find out that your landlord is deciding to sell the property, and they may actually, impact your schedule or in some way try to enter the property in order to show people around. And you could find a midway point. Yes, it is a disruption. It could be in and around the 19th of June, because that is the disruption or the disappointment point in the month. But ultimately, what it will do for you, it may move you out of a comfort zone. It's a hassle for you to have to look for alternative options, but where you find as your destination is way better than before. So sometimes the universe will send us a little bit of an upset or an upheaval in order to align us with something better. So some of you could actually encounter that, because of course so many Cancerian energies floating around in Gemini season. This could be in and around changes for the home space. Okay, now I'm not saying everybody's going to deal with that, but some of you may decide to look for new property, or you may find the property of your dreams, for example. Or some of you may actually decide to relocate because you have the World card there. You may be looking at alternative countries and how they benefit you in terms of money, health, or just lifestyle choices there as well. Now, of course, we have the Magician card, and it is in the resistance position at first. So this can indicate a lot of you are exhausted. And, the fifth house is not about control. Okay, the fifth house is kind of like freewheeling. Let's see where things go. So with the Emperor strongly as your leading card, a lot of you may find it hard to find that balance to, let your hair down, go off and have fun, but at the same time, this sense of responsibility sits on your shoulders, but you will find that midway point. But also, there's something you've been manifesting for some time, especially with this Ace of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. You are due a breakthrough, especially when it comes to either your home space or a personal health goal, or even money, okay? And you're going to see a breakthrough in that area from mid-month onwards, okay? The Magician card goes into the upright from mid-month, and it says that all that you've been focused on will start to come to fruition, especially since you have that Ace of Swords there. This is the breakthrough point, and initially it's in the reverse. So this can indicate, especially since there's a lot of people here, okay, some of you may discover a secret or something is exposed in a group of people where, you don't have any shocking cards like the Tower or the Death card. So I feel this is something that perhaps intuitively, because you have the Queen of Cups there, intuitively you knew. So for example, we've got the Queen of Pentacles here, right? And although it's in the resistance position at first, it could be that someone that you know is pregnant, but they're keeping that information to themselves at this time because they don't want to discuss it until you have a healthy like point where suddenly everything's going in the right direction and everybody can know about that information. They want to reveal it. It could be you yourself, my beautiful Leo, that's pregnant, and you're holding that news to yourself and you're waiting for the right moment to reveal to people. And it may shock people, but I feel a lot of people here, they're so happy for you. There's a lot of happy, fun cards here in your energy for the month of June. But some of you, you know, you may actually discover someone is pregnant, okay? And I feel that they may have withdrawn, or you may notice, especially if you're in group activities, that they're not imbibing alcohol, for example, and it could be a little hint for you, like, especially if they like the odd tipple when they're out and about, of course. But this Ace of Swords in the resistance position can also indicate a personal truth for you, where you have a breakthrough and you see what you're capable of. You know, it says here, breakthrough, clarity, and sharp mind. So if you are having any sort of like presentation, or you're giving some sort of talk, or you're having to have that difficult discussion with someone, you're going to find the words to eloquently express what you feel and articulate your needs from that healthy place. But at the same time, find some sort of resolution in it and feel really proud of yourself that you confronted something and you had that breakthrough. Now, of course, the Ace of Swords can indicate that things start to speed up a little bit as you move towards the end of the month. So there could be a flurry of activity to get all your projects done, especially if you're taking a vacation. Could be that you're trying to get everything organized, but I feel, you know, you will be on target with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You know, the Ace of Swords is also an energy of taking accountability, especially when it comes to groups of people, because there are so many people here. You know, you do have two queens, a king, and an emperor energy. So this could be a family dynamic, or it could be you and your soul tribe. I'm hearing like a personal disclosure. So it could be someone speaking their truth on something that they have buried for some time, or that they've had festering away. So it could be someone really gets super strict and blurts it all out. But at least it's on the table and it can be kind of like discussed and healed, or discussed and processed. And how do you move forward from there? But I do feel that it comes to a, you know, more pleasant conclusion. That's what's happening there as well. Now, also, because the Ace of Swords is in the resistance position, it can tell me that something that was unfair, suddenly good karma comes in and corrects it. Okay, I feel there's something here where you've been struggling with something, you know, having the courage of your conviction to make something work. You've been taking accountability for your actions and leading with your truth, but sometimes it feels like you're going against the tide. This month is a breakthrough month where suddenly, you know, you realize something, or you discover a piece of information that perhaps has been really hard to locate. Whatever it is, I mean, it could be a contract. It could be that suddenly you're signing a contract and there's a breakthrough on that. Or it could be that you find like a service provider, or perhaps you're giving in a permit for something. Maybe it's a visa, a passport, something that helps aid you live the life that you aspire to live. There's definitely a delay that's happened there, but now it starts to move forward with greater speed. But ultimately, this is about you holding yourself to higher standards. And I definitely see here with this Queen of Pentacles, although it's in the resistance position, a lot of you will be focused on your finances, okay? It can indicate that some of you have been worried about finances, and a lot of you could actually have wonderful new ideas, money-making ideas that you will launch or action in June, and they may even take you quite by surprise, because a lot of people are really interested to hear what you have to say, or interested in your form of expression, whether it is art, writing, or just conversing on what's going on in your everyday circumstances. For example, some of you, because there's so many people here, you could partner up with, you know, some sort of collaboration or brand deal, or it could be even, you know, a social media platform, because swords are all about the ether, and an Ace of Swords can be you like launching a social media platform where you speak your truth. If you're retired, for example, and you're worried about your 401k, or you're worried about the fluctuations in the economy right now, because of course things are pretty volatile at this moment in time, it could be that, you decide to talk about your experiences moving into retirement, all the things you had to work out, how you're on a different pace of life, connecting to different parts of the world, going traveling, or, looking at how you can either relocate abroad, all these things that you've had experience in. These could be things that you are either documenting, talking about, and expressing to help other people. It doesn't have to be if you're retired. It can be that you have experience or knowledge in something, my beautiful Leo, and you're here to speak your truth, to impart your wisdom on other people. Even if you're a parent, this could be you guiding the next generation and helping them have a real personal breakthrough. But the Queen of Pentacles, on a personal level, this is all about your money, working hard to multiply your wealth, and it will go into the upright. So a lot of you could see a surprise promotion if you're in a career, or a new opportunity comes in, especially if you're out of work right now. It could be that you've been connecting to either companies that are like intermediary companies, like agency work, for example, or perhaps freelance work, or even just part-time work in order to wait for that big break. I definitely see a big break coming in for you. So if you're currently out of work and you're looking for an opportunity, I see a lot of you, stepping into a position where you will increase your finances over time. For some of you, if you're looking for, the next level in a role that you're in right now, I see a lot of conversations about growing in your career sector, and there is like a standalone position that is coming on in, and it may pay a little bit more money, but I feel there's this energy of you negotiating an opportunity to have a role that is not just standalone, but also integrated. And I feel you could actually walk your way into an opportunity, but, don't shoot the messenger when I say this. I mean, there's some sort of energy where you may take a lesser amount of money first, but it also increases quite quickly later on. So it's almost like you win the situation by taking an opportunity that people would question you for, if that makes sense. But you can see the bigger picture, and you can see the long-term goal and the long-term gain. So for some of you, there may be a role that comes in that you're like, that's exactly what I'm looking for, because you're leading with this sense of purpose, but also the money may be just a little bit less than you were hoping for. You get to negotiate a better deal, but also you will staircase your finances in this role later on, and actually it's way better than the role that you turned down, if that makes sense, okay? Now it says here practicality, creativity, creature comforts, and security. So some of you may be either increasing your security at this time, not because there's anything untoward, but for example, if you're someone who lives alone, it could be just giving you peace of mind. I don't see anything negative here, but your Seven of Wands is there, so that's all about protection. It could also be that you're upgrading something, a security system, for example, or even if you're in a career or even personal, it could be like email security, data kind of security there, especially since we've got the Ace of Swords. So you may be asked to change your password, for example. I would also just be a little bit mindful, unsolicited calls from service providers or financial, institutions. If your financial institution calls you and says, oh, there's been some unusual activity on your account, you need to give us all of your details so we can help you process this, shut down that call immediately and find a more authentic way to connect to your service provider or your financial institution, and you'll find that actually it was a scammer, okay? So just watch out for that. June is this energy where, especially in and around the 19th of June, there's a blip energy where there's either disappointment or someone coming forward and doing something a little bit untoward. So just watch out for that, okay? Nothing negative, because I see with that Seven of Wands, you either preempt it or you prevent it from happening. Divine intervention. I would also say if you're in crowds of people, festivals, activities, for example, there could be a moment where someone sees an opportunity to, dip a pocket or, just snatch up like a cell phone or something like that. So just be mindful. But looking at the energy, I feel like intuitively, it's like you make a move. So for example, if you're talking to your friends and just having a great time and you've got your cell phone there, you may be just talking and on a very subconscious level, just pick up your cell phone and just like hold it or put it in your bag, and that person's like about to go and do it. I feel it's like you preempt it. Okay, you're really highly in a very intuitive kind of energy. Okay, so let's move away from that. A lot of you, especially with that Queen of Pentacles, you may be having money-making ideas from your home space as well. If you're decluttering, it could be that you're selling pre-loved goods during this time in order to put more money in your pocket and also fund some sort of vacation. A lot of you are also questioning where home is because of that Queen of Pentacles, and with the World card energy here and the Hermit, it could indicate that, you know, you're thinking about either relocating or you feel called to a more spiritual way of living, or even, you know, a lifestyle change, you know, a more peaceful kind of pathway. So a lot of you, if there's drama in a friendship or in a family dynamic, or even in a working environment, it could be that you're just, you know, removing yourself from the drama so you can prioritize your own needs and your own purpose at this time as well. But the Hermit, you know, this can indicate a lot of you are exhausted right now and you need a break. And that World card energy can indicate that you're taking a vacation for a while, okay, in order to regroup, you know, return to your personal best. The Seven of Wands, it's got a beautiful double lion on there. So I really feel here it's like you're going to have double the energy, double the strength. But the Seven of Wands, it basically indicates that you are at your personal best, but also you may be re-exerting some independent boundaries at this time to go off and do things for you. It's wonderful to spend time with people, but sometimes we need a little bit of alone time. And I definitely see that that's something that you may be called to do at the end of the month. Some of you may also be tapping into your higher self or into spiritual practices like mindfulness, downloading an app to aid better sleep, for example, or even, you know, meditation or Pilates, yoga, something that perhaps you do yourself in order to get more active with your mind, but also your body, because you have so many active cards. So I would say that this is a month to get really activated, not just on your goals, but also on your body, you know, dancing, moving in your body there. You know, the Bear tells me that you are someone who has endured a lot for a long time. You're someone who is super strong, and this could be a period of activating healing, especially since that Bear is looking at that star. You know, the star is outside of the lantern, which is really wonderful in this card because it can indicate that you are unleashing your inspiration or your creative ideas at this time. But sometimes you're always on the go, and you, when you're locked onto a goal, you don't stop until it's done. So it could be a little bit exhausting at the end of the month, so just watch out for that there as well. I would say you're going to receive a lot of information this month. Some intuitive hits, but also information comes to light. So if you're trying to find a structure of how to do something, or some of you may even like sign contracts, legal structures or entities, you know, you may be getting advice on these things. But if there's anything you don't know, this is the month to actually find the information, and it helps give you clarity of purpose and helps, you know, you align with something that you desire to align with. I mean, the World card is an alignment card. It means any goals you have, you shall reach them and you shall be successful. There's victory there. As you can see, there's a victory wreath right there. But most importantly, personally, the victory is coming into balance. It's making sure that your body is, you know, running on optimum strength. But also it can be that all elements are in play. So for example, you have earth, air, fire, and water presented on this card. So it can indicate that passionate, fiery side is unleashed this month, but the water energy is all about your visions, being in your feelings. It's about locking on and make sure that they align. How you feel about what you're doing right now. Are you having fun with it? Because that will tap into the vibration of you in the future, living the success that you desire, and it calls to you and draws it in quicker. Of course, the earth element is all about grounding. It's the plan. It's about you making, you know, methodical, practical steps towards making your life happen for you. And of course, air is all the wonderful ideas and the connection and suddenly having an epiphany and a realization, but knowing that there is this otherworldly force and presence that is helping you be self-made, but at the same time, you know, protect and redirect you towards a better way of living. Now, of course, we have the Emperor and the World card. I have to mention it. A lot of you are keeping your eye on the world and the volatility of all the changes that are going on right now. And it could be that you are hoping for peace and praying for, some sort of collective spiritual awakening where people activate a more humanitarian side of themselves. And I feel like you will see a little bit more evidence of that in the month of June because of the planetary alignments. But the World card can indicate that a lot of you are completing something that you've been enduring for quite some time. So it could be a personal development project. If you've been, learning, higher learning, or in education in some way, it could be that it comes to an end. You have to pass a test, which I see that it's going to be, challenging, but I feel like you pass with flying colors there, especially since the Seven of Wands tells me that you're on top of the competition. It means that you do so well, you're better than other people who have taken this test. If you're taking, a driving test, for example, it could be that you're passing and you're better than most people, doing this for the first time. Whatever it is, I feel that you are on top of things. And, this Seven of Wands tells me that you're channeling your energy and your personal power into shaping your life and, being the king or queen of the jungle, as it were, because it's tough out there. And I feel like this is a month of empowerment for you. Now it says here, mounting a defense, maintaining control. And that's your intention for the month of June. Being in control of your endeavors, your projects, keeping life running smoothly. But your fifth house will entice you out to play. There is a lot of fun to be had in June. It's on offer for you to tap into. So you may have some friends who reach out to you and be like, Leo, come out to play. And you're like, oh, I've got all these things I have to do, but you must find the balance in order to accommodate both, because variety is the spice of life. If you're doing one thing all the time, of course, then, it tends to chip away at your confidence, chip away at that sparkle. And I feel this is a month of you reigniting that spark within self. Now, I feel something that you have either campaigned for or, applied for, whether it's a permit, whether it's a job opportunity, whether it is, maybe you put a bid on a home, for example. I see that there is competition there, but with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel that it's like you step up and lead. You are in the lead. This is pole position with this Seven of Wands, okay? So it's like you apply for something and you get it, or you campaign for something and it comes to some sort of resolution, or you see a milestone where you can see change. Whatever it is, I feel like your effort actually brings change this month. And I feel like you're going to be so proud of yourself there as well. Now, of course, this month, if you're looking for love, I feel there are some people who are attracted to you. Notice the person who is mirroring you is what I'm being given, because they are connected to you from the heart space. So I feel there could be a chemistry between you and a person, especially if you're single. This person, they are single as well. They're very knowledgeable. They've had a lot of experience in life. They may be from a different part of the world than you, but I feel the conversation just flows and there is a spark, okay? So if you're looking for love, you could meet this person in a group activity, or, if you're invited to something through a friend, because I feel friends are your catalyst towards new ideas and meeting people and, just getting involved in the everyday. When we put a lot of strict energy upon ourselves, sometimes we can get a little bit stagnant. Have you ever had a bit of a conundrum in a project or a relationship and you took a step back in order to see the bigger picture, or kind of take a moment away from it, or even sleep on it? Suddenly you come back refreshed and you just know what to do. Your brain is a supercomputer and it works everything out. But I feel this is a month to make sure that, yes, you're in a state of control, but you're also stepping away to release control, and there lies the magic. Some manifestations are coming in for you. Communication on something is coming in, something that is in the home space. I feel like there's either family news that's very positive, or there's also some sort of personal development news that is super positive there for you as well. It's something that it's almost like you can't celebrate it just yet. I'm not sure what that energy is. It's like you're holding out until either you got the facts or it's in writing. It's like you don't believe it until it's finalized. but you get the information that you got it, or you're going to celebrate something, but you're like, hold on a minute, I'm not going to celebrate until it's in writing or this deal has been sealed, you know, and I definitely see a celebration there after though. Now we also have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is about efficiency. It's about hard work and responsibility. You're taking ownership for your life. This is a month where you're locked onto your goals, even personal development goals, especially since you have the Queen of Pentacles there and the Ace of Swords along with this Knight of Pentacles. A lot of you are in your body energy. So looking at what you eat, what you digest, what you listen to, what you absorb, you know, where you spend your time and how active you are. So you're going to be on top of your life in general this month. And I feel there is this free-flowing energy towards getting the best out of all situations in life. You're just on top of things, okay? And for some of you, if you have the resources to do so, you may even find a property that is a little bit, I don't want to say remote, because I feel like you can still head into a town or a village, but you may find a property if you're trying to search for a property. You may find one that's in your budget, or you get to negotiate them down, and it seems a little bit remote. It's a little bit more in nature. So if this is a holiday vacational home, if you're lucky enough to have the resources for that, or perhaps this is a vision of something that you're working towards, you're going to see that you're closer to your dream than ever before this month, okay? Planning phase of something, community. So even another deck is highlighting community is important, spending time with your friendship groups. It is a perfect time to find love when you're in your 5th house, but also it's a great time for creative pursuits, channeling your energy into expressing yourself. And if you're in a relationship, revamping your love life there as well. Bad gossip. Okay, so a truth will come to light there. We have that Ace of Swords, which can connect to bad gossip or someone, you know, I feel like there's someone who's keeping like a pregnancy secret. That's what I'm getting mainly. But there could be like a piece of information that comes out that makes you feel distant with the person who has been keeping that truth, okay? But it says here, people are gossiping behind your back. It would be wise to be careful with your actions right now. Bad reputation, enemy, bad talk, okay? So, you know, power moves in silence. So a lot of you, if you're locked onto a goal or a dream, you know, it can be that you're moving in silence and stillness at this time. You're not telling anybody, or you're being more discerning about who you tell about your projects. Not because people around you don't want you to succeed, but sometimes when we tell a person what we're about to do, something that we were excited about now suddenly becomes a chore. People expect that you're going to be doing it, and then you have a higher expectation on yourself. And, you know, whenever I have ever in my past said, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and I'm really like pumped about it, and then I tell someone about it, you know, I'm doing it, but then there's going to be days where I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm too tired, or I'm not inspired, and suddenly there's that responsibility on your shoulders, like, oh, well, come on, you must force your way through the energy. You can do this, because there is this sense of expectation that we put upon ourselves, especially when we tell other people. But when we do something in private, then we're like holding ourselves to account, and, you know, other people, especially when you're reaching for something in your life and you're going to be very successful at it. You know, there's a lot of success cards here for you. The Emperor energy, the World card, the Seven of Wands. This is you at your personal best, accomplishing something that was hard won, but you did it. Okay, and it can remind people of the fact that they're not as successful as they hope to be. And it can put a bitterness in their response to your success. Doesn't mean that they don't want you to succeed. It can remind them of the fact that they're struggling with something right now. So it could be that you're not bragging about something, but it could be that you're excited to tell someone your good news in June. But I would just be discerning about who it is that you are telling about your stuff. Now we also have community there, okay? Also, if you're in a working environment, this bad gossip, it could be that someone is gossiping about the boss. Be mindful, even if you are present in that, and the boss walks past and hears it, you're accountable because you're in that group, even if you said nothing. So if there's anything negative being said about anyone and you're like, nope, I don't want to be part of that, it's time to remove. Some of you may actually stand up for the person that you hear the gossip on and say, actually, you should be talking about someone behind their back. Anything you need to say it to their face. You know, so it could be that you're calling someone out about, you know, their negative thoughts or words about somebody else. But we've got community, a good time to make new connections. The universe is sending some beneficial alliances your way, friends, your soul tribe, and socializing. And that definitely connects to your 5th house. But also I feel this is a portal that changes your vibration to help inform you on your path and make you just feel better about yourself. Whenever you feel connected to someone and you have an authentic conversation, you can feel like you're floating on air, like, wow, that was the best conversation. They're awesome. I'm awesome. Everything was awesome in that moment. And it just inspires. It changes the vibration. There's also always that one person that when you speak to them, you know, they're always going through something. And yeah, they may be actually, you know, trying to resolve something, so you're a good friend and you're there for them. But if people are giving them advice and they find it really hard to activate that advice, it can be that you're trying to step away from the energy because it's bringing you down. You've tried so hard. You're not stepping away not to support this person, but you're realizing that perhaps you've been enabling them in their behavior to not do something about their circumstances. So a lot of you could be stepping away in order not to enable some sort of trait or experience with this person. So we've also got planning phase. I mean, the Emperor indicates you're all up in your plans, structures, you know, creating something that you're about to launch or something that is going to take shape or you're going to see a breakthrough in it. And it says, take a step back and plan the necessary steps to move forward. So you may turn your goals into reality. Strategy, research, and plotting. Interesting, 2 very different decks. And both of these decks, it's like the bigger picture. Sometimes we got to take a step back to see the whole picture in order to move forward. So it's not really like 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. It's like 2 steps forward, a pause, and then 4 steps forward because you're ready. You're planning something and you're locked onto this goal and you're going to move forward with great strides, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. We've got the ship. And we've also got a turtle, okay? So the ship is all about your inner compass. It's about your journey. It's about your sense of purpose. Ships represent moving forward. Also, they can connect to someone from overseas coming to either visit you or you going overseas to visit somebody or just experience new landscapes, new cultures to really inform who you are and inspire you and open you up to experiences that are new to your current circumstance. You know, the ship can indicate that, yeah, things are challenging, times are hard, but the Emperor is about taking charge and accountability and adjusting the sails so that you can move with the energy as opposed to moving against it. And of course, we've got the turtle there. So this can indicate that, yes, there's been some slow progress, but I feel things will be a little bit smoother sailing for you over the next coming weeks and months there. But the shell represents a need to sometimes go inwards, to protect oneself, to really reflect on the journey so far, to take a pause. A pause has purpose. It helps you realign, it helps you recharge, and it helps you gain clarity in order to the next steps. Because sometimes there can be an alternative approach. The goal will always remain the same because you've got the World card, which means you're going to be very successful. You're locked onto your goals. And, you know, you are taking stock, though, of all that you need to bring with you on your journey, whether that's people, whether that's steps you need to make before you make them. So I definitely see here that a lot of you are working really hard to shape your life in a certain way. And whilst progress is slow, it is progress. And you're going to see some sort of breakthrough moment where, I mean, these 2 trinkets even connect to the fact that the 5th house will be a slower energy. You know, there's going to be a lot of activity, but it's more as in going out there, having fun, connecting to people, a more intimate setting. And then, of course, the, you know, ship there is a faster energy. It's about getting out there. It's about integrating. It's about expanding your horizons and expanding your reach. So I definitely see here your 5th house and 12th house strongly influencing you as you move through the month. And you're going to be really proud of yourself. You're going to deeply reflect at the end of the month, you know, and focus on those projects and also recognize that you've come a long way. And I definitely see a lucky break here as well for you, okay? So you can expand your reach. Some of you may even utilize the internet to do that by promoting yourself or marketing yourself in some way. Or it can be that you're connecting to people, friends overseas. I feel the month for you of June is all about connection, but making sure you have balance in quality time for self. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates for you, my beautiful Leo. Thank you so much, and love and light.